Hey, welcome back guys. Let's build an app from scratch and see just how easy it really is. So let's go to our shell and let's say php cli.php new, and we'll just call this new blog. If we come back, we'll now see that in our application app, we'll have a new blog app. So before we forget, let's go ahead and throw it in our config file. Let's get rid of a few apps and let's put new blog into here. Now let's create a new route for our new blog. Let's go to routes. Let's use Mira route. We're going to be using a render, so let's use Mira render. And let's say route get, and we'll say blog. This takes a closure. And in here, we could say render a view inside the new blog app and of index. So let's go ahead and create that index template in our new blog app. Now we have a couple options here. So if you go to template and create a new template, now we could either name it index.php or index.engine.php. So let's go ahead and name it index.engine.php. What this does is it allows the template now to have access to Mira's templating engine, which is similar to Blade's templating engine. So let's test this out to make sure that we're getting it in our localhost. So let's go to our browser, type in new blog, and we see that this is a blog. Now while we're at it, let's go ahead and create two more templates, a header and a footer. So we'll say new file in our new blog templates folder called header.php. And we'll just create another one called footer.php. Now you can actually include a header and a footer on every single template that you call if you go to the config file. And let's move this over. And if we put our header in here and we called it new blog header and new blog footer. So let's go ahead and put some text in here of this is a header and this is a footer. And if we open this back up, we now see that this is a header, this is a footer. Alternatively, using the Mira template syntax, you can include it in your template by saying extends new blog dot header, and let's put a text highlighting on here. And down here we can also extends new blog dot footer. So if we refresh, we get the same result, except we're including it twice. So let's go back to our config and just comment out our header and footer. Refresh, that's better. So let's go ahead and get a navbar from Bootstrap. So if we say navbar Bootstrap or Bootstrap, go down to W3 and just copy this navbar. So inside our header, let's just create a template. We'll say title is a new blog. Inside our body, let's paste that nav. Now we don't actually have Bootstrap installed, so let's go ahead and install Bootstrap. So I have a Sublime snippet that will install Bootstrap for me. So let's just install jQuery, install Bootstrap.js, and just install Bootstrap CSS. So let's go ahead and refresh the page. Now we have a nice looking navbar. So inside our template, going along with our templating syntax, we can use curly braces to echo something. So this is a blog, and we get the same thing. Let's go ahead and add a picture. Let's just look up blog picture and see what we get. And this looks like a nice picture. Let's save. Let's just navigate to our desktop, Mira test, application, app. Go to our new blog and just throw that in images. And we'll name this blog. Great, so now if we go back to our app, we now see under images, we have blog.jpg. Now to install static files into your template, it's as simple as doing a image source, and you can do one of two ways. If you're in the template engine, you could say load static and throw in an app name. So we are new blog. This could be any app as long as you're trying to access that static file from that app. Once we do that, we could say /images/blog.jpg. And let's close that. Let's go ahead and refresh. And we now see we have our image showing. If you are not in the template engine, you could just do normal PHP syntax. And we'll get the same thing. If we wanted to access an image in another app, we would just say Mira/images/blog, and that would get the images/blog from the Mira app itself. And if you had to load a CSS file, then you would do the same thing in your header, but it would be CSS/something like stylesheet.css. So you guys can start to see how apps can be self-contained. Alright, thanks a lot guys, I'll see you next tutorial.